If you're a man over 60 and you find yourself feeling more tired than you ever expected, waking up exhausted, dragging through the day, or losing that spark you once had for everything from morning walks to evenings with loved ones, then you're not alone. It's easy to start believing that this is simply what aging looks like, that it's some unavoidable decline we must accept without question. But what if I told you that this gradual loss of energy and vitality isn't a fixed fate? That it's not just the calendar or the passing years stealing your strength, but often the quiet daily choices we make, especially when it comes to what we eat? This isn't about some quick fix or a miracle cure, but about the small, consistent steps that can gently feed the body systems that keep you moving, thinking clearly, and feeling alive. And today, I want to talk to you about 3 specific vegetables that have the power to do just that, to quietly boost your energy, support your circulation, and reignite your vitality in ways you might not have expected. I remember a man named Tom. He was 68 years old, a man who spent most of his life working with his hands, running a busy auto shop. When Tom first came to see me, he looked worn down, more than just the usual lines and gray in his hair. He described how by mid-afternoon, no matter what he tried, his body felt like it was running on empty. His evenings were swallowed by fatigue, and even his wife noticed he was quieter, less present. He felt like an invisible man in his own life. Tom's diet was mostly quick and easy meals, frozen dinners, processed snacks, foods that were soft and familiar but stripped of real nutrients. He hadn't paid much attention to vegetables in years, except maybe some canned peas or the occasional salad that was more for show than for sustenance. After we talked about his habits, Tom agreed to try a few changes. I introduced him to 3 vegetables, chosen not because they're trendy, but because they carry powerful nutrients that support aging bodies in very specific ways. 2 weeks later, he told me his hands no longer felt cold by midday, a sign his circulation was improving. After a month, he was taking longer walks, not forcing himself, but feeling like he wanted to. His wife said he laughed more and seemed lighter. These changes weren't sudden miracles, but steady, gentle shifts, and they were the result of feeding his body what it truly needed. Tom's story reminds us that vitality doesn't just vanish with age. It can be nurtured back to life with patience, understanding, and the right care. Let me explain why these vegetables matter so much, not just as food on your plate, but as tools to help your body perform better. As we grow older, the energy centers within our cells, called mitochondria, naturally begin to work less efficiently. It's like an old engine that still runs but with less power and more noise. Blood vessels may stiffen or narrow, making it harder for oxygen-rich blood to reach muscles and organs. Hormone levels shift, sometimes leaving men feeling less like themselves. These changes don't mean the end of vitality. They simply mean the body needs more focused nourishment to keep running well. Imagine your body like an old garden. The soil may be tired and compacted, but with the right compost and care, life can still flourish. The vegetables I'm about to describe contain compounds that help improve circulation, support your mitochondria, and balance hormones. These are not fancy supplements or pills, just whole foods that work quietly but powerfully. The first vegetable I want to talk about is the humble beetroot. At first glance, it might just look like a simple red root vegetable. But beneath that deep color lies a natural source of nitrates, compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts like a key that unlocks your blood vessels, allowing them to relax and widen. This improves blood flow throughout the body, to your muscles, your brain, and yes, even your heart and intimate areas. For men over 60, better circulation means better stamina, better performance, and a general sense of being more alive. I remember Tom began adding a small glass of beet juice to his morning routine 3 times a week. At first, he was skeptical, but after a couple of weeks, he noticed something surprising. His hands, which often felt cold and tingly by midday, started to warm up. By the end of the month, climbing stairs didn't feel like a chore anymore. It was as if this simple root was feeding his body's energy pathways directly. You can roast beets, grate them raw into salads, or blend them into juices. Their earthy sweetness might surprise you, but it's one of those gentle gifts nature offers to support your health quietly. What Tom's story doesn't fully capture at first glance is the quiet toll that fatigue and declining vitality take beyond just physical energy. As a man who'd spent decades relying on his strength and presence, Tom confided that the creeping exhaustion also touched his confidence and intimacy. He hesitated at first to talk about it, as many men do, but eventually shared how he noticed his morning erections had faded, and nights once filled with connection now felt distant and awkward. This wasn't just about stamina or muscle, it was about feeling like himself in the most vulnerable human moments. Like many men, he felt caught between frustration and resignation, unsure if this was just how it is or if something could be done. In my practice, I've learned that vitality is never solely physical. It's a layered experience, intertwined with emotions, memories, and identity. When the body slows, the spirit can sometimes follow. But what's remarkable is how closely linked these layers are. Improving circulation and hormone balance through simple, real foods can gently restore more than just strength. It can awaken a sense of self that men thought was lost. For Tom, introducing beet juice was more than a nutritional change. It became a symbol of reclaiming agency over his health and his life. Gradually, as his energy returned, so did his confidence. He began to feel more like the man who could engage fully with his wife, laugh with his friends, and enjoy the quiet satisfaction of a day well lived. Biologically, this makes sense. Nitric oxide, produced from nitrates in beets, doesn't just open blood vessels. It enhances blood flow to critical areas, including the heart and the pelvic region. This can help improve erectile function, a concern many men over 60 share but rarely discuss openly. The link between diet, circulation, and sexual health is profound but often overlooked. When blood flows freely, it delivers oxygen and nutrients that support tissue health and responsiveness. Likewise, the magnesium and iron in spinach support nerve signaling and energy metabolism, which are essential for sexual function and mood regulation. Cruciferous vegetables aid hormone metabolism, helping the body maintain a more balanced testosterone level, which influences libido and vitality. This integrated approach, seeing food not just as calories, but as medicine for body and soul, can gently transform how men experience aging. Tom's story is just one among many I've witnessed, where men who once felt invisible begin to reappear, more vibrant and engaged, simply by reconnecting with the power of thoughtful nutrition. It's a reminder that aging doesn't have to mean giving up the parts of ourselves that bring joy and connection. Instead, it can be an invitation to deepen care for the whole self, body, mind, and heart, through small, consistent acts of nourishment and respect. Next is spinach, a vegetable that many of us remember from childhood, but perhaps didn't appreciate fully. Spinach is a dense powerhouse of nutrients, rich in magnesium, iron, and folate, all of which play essential roles in supporting blood flow, nerve function, and the balance of hormones that affect mood, energy, and sleep. These nutrients help the nervous system communicate efficiently, reduce feelings of fatigue, and promote restful sleep, all critical for men seeking to reclaim their vitality. Spinach isn't flashy, and it doesn't demand much from you in the kitchen. I often tell my patients not to overthink it. Just toss a handful into your morning eggs, stir it into a pot of soup, or wilt it gently as a side. Even lightly cooked spinach retains most of its benefits, making it an easy and effective way to nourish your body. Imagine that fresh, slightly peppery bite against the soft eggs or blended into a warming broth. Simple, familiar, but full of purpose. The quiet support spinach offers can become part of a daily rhythm, a small but steady commitment to yourself. Finally, I want to introduce the group known as cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, and their relatives. These vegetables do more than fill your plate with color and crunch. They contain unique compounds that help your body regulate hormones, especially testosterone, which naturally declines as men age. Cruciferous vegetables assist in breaking down excess estrogen-like compounds that can accumulate, helping maintain a healthier hormonal balance. Beyond hormones, they are rich in fiber, supporting digestion and the body's detoxification systems. They also contain sulforaphane, a compound shown to have anti-inflammatory and even cancer-preventive properties. One patient of mine, a widower named Harold, found that making broccoli a regular part of his meals became a form of quiet self-respect. Steaming it gently and drizzling olive oil over it, it wasn't just about nutrition. It was his way of saying he still mattered, that he was still investing in his well-being. You don't need to eat them raw or complicated. Roasting or sautéing with a little garlic and olive oil brings out a rich flavor and makes them easier to digest. It's these small, mindful acts, choosing fresh food, preparing it simply, that add up to meaningful change. If you're feeling tired or disconnected from your own energy, I want you to hold on to this. These vegetables are more than just food. They are a form of respect you give yourself, a way of saying, I still want to feel alive in my body. I still deserve to wake up with strength and purpose. I understand how exhausting it can be to sift through endless health advice that feels like noise, gimmicks, or promises too good to be true. But what I have witnessed in my years of working with men over 60 is this steady truth. Those who start feeding their bodies better, even just a little bit at a time, find their strength returning. They start remembering who they are beneath the fatigue and frustration. It's not about a diet or deprivation. It's about nourishing the life that's still very much there, waiting for the right conditions to flourish again. So, I invite you to try one of these vegetables this week. Just one. Let it be your first small step back to feeling like yourself again. Notice how your body responds, the way your hands warm, the way your legs carry you, the lightness in your mind. These aren't grand gestures. They're quiet acts of care that build on each other day by day. And as we move forward, I'll share with you more about how to integrate these simple, powerful foods into your life, how they work together to support your energy, and how small changes can create a foundation for greater vitality and performance in every part of your day. As we explore how these three vegetables quietly work their way into your body's rhythms, it's important to pause and consider what this journey really means. Food is not merely fuel. It is a conversation between your past and your future, between the care you've given yourself and the life you still want to live. The choice to add these vegetables to your plate is a declaration, sometimes whispered, sometimes shouted, that you are not done yet, that your vitality is still there, waiting to be nurtured, waiting for you to tend it like a garden that has seen many seasons but still holds the promise of bloom. You might be thinking, is it really that simple? Can 3 vegetables make a difference when so much else feels out of my control? I understand that skepticism. Many of the men I've cared for over the years have told me the same. They've been bombarded with quick fixes, pills that promise more than they deliver, and advice that feels overwhelming or out of reach. But the beauty of this approach is in its quiet persistence. It's not about dramatic overhauls or grand gestures. It's about gentle, intentional choices made day after day. Choices that build a foundation beneath the surface where real change begins. Think of your body as an old but beloved instrument. It may need tuning, some strings replaced, and a little oil on the mechanisms, but it can still play a beautiful song. These vegetables provide some of that oil and tuning. Beets, with their vibrant color and nitric oxide power, open the pathways for blood to flow freely, restoring warmth to cold hands and strength to tired legs. Spinach supplies the essential minerals and vitamins that feed the nervous system and keep your mind sharp, helping you face each day with clarity and calm. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale support your hormones, balancing the delicate dance that influences everything from muscle tone to mood. Together, they don't just add nutrients, they rekindle hope. I want to share something I've observed time and again. Men who commit to these small changes don't just report physical improvements, they rediscover joy. They find themselves more willing to laugh, to engage, to move freely without hesitation. One man I remember told me, I feel like I'm getting my life back, one meal at a time. It's this shift, from resignation to agency, from fatigue to vitality, that transforms not just the body, but the soul. You are more than a diagnosis, more than a number on a chart. You are a man with stories yet to be told, strength yet to be reclaimed. Of course, no single approach works in isolation. Nutrition is one thread in the fabric of health, woven alongside sleep, movement, social connection, and mental well-being. But food is unique in that it arrives every day, in moments both ordinary and sacred. The act of preparing a meal, choosing to nourish yourself, can be a powerful ritual, a daily reminder that you matter. If cooking feels daunting, start small. Maybe it's blending a handful of spinach into a smoothie, or roasting some broccoli with a drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of garlic. These little actions carry meaning far beyond their size. I know that for many men over 60, intimacy and connection can feel fragile or distant. Circulation and hormone balance aren't just medical concepts, they're deeply tied to how you experience closeness and desire. Improving these quietly through vegetables that support blood flow and hormone health can open the door to renewed confidence. This isn't about pressure or performance, it's about feeling alive in your skin again, about being present for the moments that matter most. It's about the warmth in a handshake, the spark in a shared glance, the simple pleasure of feeling strong and steady. It's easy to be discouraged when faced with the challenges of aging. The headlines, the ads, the countless promises of instant fixes can all make you feel like it's too late or too complicated. But the truth I've witnessed over decades of practice is that it's never too late to begin. Change doesn't have to be seismic to be meaningful. The quiet power of a single choice made day after day can shift your trajectory. It can restore energy you thought was gone, rekindle vitality you believed was lost. I invite you to embrace this journey gently. Begin with these 3 vegetables, not as a diet or obligation, but as an act of kindness toward yourself. See them as partners in your health, allies that offer more than nutrition. They offer connection to the earth, to your body, and to your future. Each bite is a reminder that you are still here, still capable, still deserving of care and vitality. If you feel ready, take the next step by sharing this message with a friend or loved one. Maybe cook one of these vegetables together. Turn it into a moment of connection, of mutual encouragement. Health, after all, is rarely a solitary pursuit. It's woven from the relationships we nurture as much as from the foods we eat. I'm Dr. Michael Hanks, and I want you to know that your vitality matters. It's not a fading memory. It's a living, breathing part of you that can be nurtured with patience, compassion, and simple, powerful choices. Let these vegetables be a beginning, a gentle way to reclaim your energy and performance, one meal at a time. Remember, this is not about perfection or pressure. It's about respect for your body, your journey, and the life still ahead. Take it slow, be kind to yourself, and know that with every small step, you're moving closer to the man you want to be, strong, vital, and fully alive. Thank you for trusting me to walk with you on this path. Here's to your health, your strength, and the many vibrant days still to come.